In this video, we're going to make a very simple bass sound. The first thing we need to do is add the Tyrell N6, which is a free synthesizer by Yuhi. Next, we want to click on the presets button, which is in the top right corner of the middle panel that we have. After we do that, we want to navigate to the Unshushable Cocktail library, and we want to find a preset named TUC-INIT. This is the initial preset for this particular library. After we select that, we want to click the presets button again so that we're looking at our Tyrell N6 user interface. Let's listen to what the preset sounds like if I press a note down on my keyboard. Now, to lower the output level, make the synthesizer monophonic, take off the ADSRs that are on the filters, and finally make the shape of our first oscillator's waveform something in between a triangle and a sine wave. Let's listen to what that sounds like now. I'm going to make an adjustment to oscillator 1's amplitude, and then pull up the amplitude for oscillator 2. As I do this, I'll hold down a note on my keyboard so I can hear oscillator 2 enter the mix. It's currently set to a square wave. Now to make an adjustment to the shape of the waveform for oscillator 2, I want to move it a little bit more towards a sine wave. Next, I'll pull up the fader for the sub-oscillator, which will add presence in the low end. I'm going to adjust the cutoff point of a low-pass filter now to make it so that we really only hear the lower frequencies of these three oscillators. Let's pull up the resonance just a little bit. I'm pretty happy with this bass sound so far, but I want to make an adjustment to the amplitude envelope. In particular, I want to adjust the attack, sustain, and release, so that way I reduce the chances of getting a clip every time I press down a key. What the sound is really missing now is those upper harmonics, and that makes sense because I used a low pass filter and I cut them out. So what I'm going to do now is use a saturation plugin. This is actually going to distort my signal and thereby add some upper harmonics for us to be able to hear. The plugin I'm adding here is called IVGI and it's by Klanghelm. It's completely free. You'll see me adjust the drive, the trim, and the output so that way I distort the signal and get those upper harmonics. Let's take a listen to the difference between when I have IVGI on and when I have IVGI off. You'll see me reset my meters so that way I can see the peak level. What I'm going to do here is pretty standard practice for synthesis. I'm going to use a low cut, which will filter out the frequencies at the bottom end of human hearing. This will help to protect any speakers, PA systems, studio monitors, or headphones I might be using. It's really easy to blow one of those out if you overdrive the lowest register of your sound. I'll use Ableton's stock EQ8 plugin, but there are many free EQ plugins just like it that you can use in order to add a low cut. Now I'm just going to make a few tweaks to the sound. This is something I commonly do once I have everything in place. I'll adjust the saturation, the cutoff, and maybe a little bit of the ADSR. Now comes one of the most important parts of the whole process, and that's saving my preset. I like to put my last name first before every preset. That's just me. It helps me to find things very quickly. Now, if I want to move where my preset is saved, I can just click and drag. So I'm going to move this over to user. And that's it. Now I have my bass sound. Tune into the next tutorial where we will start making a pad.